Hey guys, Nabil here. Welcome to another episode of NeoGear. Now, I recently got a NeoGeo AES and I cannot be happier about playing those great NeoGeo games on the real hardware. Now, of course, one of the problems of using any virtual console on today's TVs or monitors is the ability to get an HD signal through an HDMI. Now, if you watched my previous episode, I was using something called Level Hike. Now, this little thing was pretty easy to set up. You basically plug in your HDMI, you plug into your NeoGeo AES, plug in HDMI cable, and then you need external power. And then it works great. I was really happy with it. There was any noticeable lag. The only issue is that I noticed, and thanks to some of you guys who pointed that out, that some of the shadows did not render correctly, and that's because I found out that the signal goes to 480i interlaced rather than progressive, which is what you want to have if you want to have the full picture. So remember, there's 1080p and 1080i. The P stands for progressive, the I is for interlaced, and this one goes to interlaced. Now, it works great. It's not really bothersome unless you're really looking for those real shadows. But if you're a perfectionist, there's another option that just was released recently, and I'm talking about this, the Rad2X. Now, this little thing here does not need any external power, and it's advertised that it actually takes the signal to 480p progressive. So let's go ahead and check it and see what this thing can do. So I received the Rad2X about a few days ago, and upon unboxing, this is what you get. This little box here with the retro gaming cable logo on it. This version is the one that comes with stereo, so there's an external cable, an extra cable that you plug into the headphones of your NeoGeo AES to get stereo sound, because the NeoGeo is mono. And then you have this switch where you can turn on and off, and that's the smoothing, so you can turn it on and get some extra smoothing, and we'll see how that goes. I prefer everything to be pixel perfect. And one last thing, this thing uses mini HDMI, so be careful when you order this thing. Make sure that you have a mini HDMI to HDMI cable, or that you have an adapter from mini HDMI to regular HDMI. And that's my only grip, because those mini HDMI things that do not come easily, at least where I am. However, I was lucky to have a cable mini HDMI to HDMI. Now let's go ahead and turn this thing on and see what happens. Now everything is ready to set up. As you can see, this little thing will light up here in a second, and everything is on, and we should be getting a signal here any second. Now plug in my external controller, even the Brooks adapter, and voila, we have some quality. And to be honest, I was really surprised. Oh my god, how awesome this thing looks. And we're gonna switch to a direct feed here in a second, but this thing is insane. It's pixel perfect. This is, to be honest, I did not even know my NeoGeo was capable of rendering such a beautiful image. I had a lot of issues. I tried all kind of stuff, I tried the OSCS, and I get great picture using the Hyper NeoGeo 64, but I was not able to get a clear picture using my AES. I thought my AES was defective, to be honest. I tried the Level Hike and I got pretty good picture, but this thing is on another level. Now let's go ahead and switch to direct feed, and as you can see, this thing is just amazingly beautiful. Now all the details we have here, and right now this is pixel perfect, as you can see. No, I did not notice any lag whatsoever. It is really smooth. Now, as we mentioned before, what this little device does is it takes the 240p signal from your NeoGeo AES, and then it actually upscales it twice, hence the name 2X, Rad2X, to 480p. Now the other cable that I had, which is the Level Hike, which is also great, but it's actually interlaced. It goes to 480i, and that's why the shadows are not rendered correctly. And some of the moves or special moves, anything that flashes and or supposed to be a little bit transparent, did not look great, did not look correct. But with this thing, it looks awesome. Now, as I said also before, there's a switch, and manual switch that you can turn on and off the smoothing. As you can see, smoothing is on right now, and it does not look bad. I mean, it looks pretty good, but I prefer the pixel perfect quality, these retro, I mean, this is a retro console, it should get those beautiful pixels. As you can see, I tried some King of Fighters 2003 where it has those flashing, transparent life bars for the other characters, and it renders great. It looks pretty awesome. Same thing goes for the King of Fighters 2000. I tried different games. I tried like the Aero Fighters. As you can see, it also looks great. No flashing, no issues. Everything works as it should. It is just perfect. And again, I cannot believe how awesome this little thing is. It does not even need external power. And Metal Slug also looks amazing. Of course, Metal Slug 3 is the best Metal Slug of all time. No questions asked. If you don't believe what I said, if you don't agree with me, you are not my friend anymore. In terms of technical specifications, the Rad2X input is RGB that is internally converted to YPBPR. It has a built-in anti-aliasing LPF, and it outputs via the mini HDMI, as I said, to 480p or even 576p, which is in the line double mode. And the aspect ratio is actually the correct one, so it's 4:3. It does not have 16:9, and so if you want to force it 16:9, I don't know why you want to do that. It's actually a crime against all of humanity. But if you're into that, then you'll have to do it through your television, because this device does not stretch the image to 16:9. As I said, the latency is crazy slow. It's about 53 microseconds, so that's not even 1 millisecond, of course. And of course, as I said, it has stereo via that extra cable that you actually plug in to the headphone jack. The colors are great. The transparency works great. And again, this thing is crazy good, and I was amazed. Really, you have no idea how much time I wasted on getting a good image from my NeoGeo AES. I never thought I would get this awesome of an image. So as I mentioned before, this thing costs about £47. It's currently out of stock right now, but just be careful. I mean, if you have NeoGeo AES or NeoGeo CD, or even if you have any other retro console, these guys know what they're doing in terms of upscaling the video signal, and it's really cheap compared to going to something like OSSC or a FrameMaster, which costs you hundreds of dollars. The audio quality is, again, as I said, stereo, because the NeoGeo AES by default, when it was originally made, it's actually mono. So, however, if you use the headphone jack, you get stereo audio. So what this little device has is this extra cable that you connect to your headphone jack of the NeoGeo AES, and that way you get stereo sound to your modern television or monitor. The cable comes in two options, so it does not come by default with the stereo version. So if you want to go ahead, you want to buy the stereo version, you actually add £6 to it, which is completely worth it again. So make sure you're ordering the correct version again if you're interested in getting this pretty awesome solution. Now, as you can see, this thing is great. The Rad2X, which costs £47, so about 57, maybe $58, is actually the best current solution to hook up your NeoGeo AES to a modern TV. And they do not only have the NeoGeo version, they actually want for the NES, Super NES, Genesis, NeoGeo CD, and whatnot. And it's really great. As you can see, the signal image is perfect. You have those perfect looking pixels. Of course, you have that option, as you saw, of actually smoothing things out if you like that. But as a perfectionist, I like those little beautiful looking pixels. Now, you can purchase the Rad2X through a link in the description below that is not an affiliate link. So just to helping you guys to be able to get it, I believe it's currently out of stock. This thing runs out of stock really quickly, and I definitely see why. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, thank you for watching.